Time to grab one of these and discuss some big news. Let's do work. Commenting on an article from musclecarsandtrucks.com, I highly recommend checking them out. Link below. The S650 Ford Mustang chief engineer explains the night and day difference between the S650 and S550. For some in the media, the 7th generation Ford Mustang has been criticized as just a refresh, and that somehow it's a wiser idea to have revealed a fully electric version instead. You just can't fix stupid. Wiser to make an all-electric Mustang? Well, the media are clearly out of touch with the reality of what consumers want. And that's why you watch Rated R Cars. We are not afraid to hurt the snowflake's feelings, all in good humor of course, and we tell it like it is. If you're one of the same mind or want to learn more,
hit that subscribe, like, comment, gong that notification bell,
and buy yours truly a coffee with that super thanks button to keep me fighting the good fight. No, we do not need a full EV Mustang. You can't see me, but I'm shaking my head, bro. However you want to look at it, the 2024 S650 Ford Mustang is far more than a nip and tuck to the sheet metal, and even more than just engine updates. In fact, after a conversation with S650 Mustang chief engineer Ed Krenz, it appears that just about everything on the new car was touched up, with the most noticeable change to the driving experience happening right in the hands of the operator. Ed Krenz said, "The most impactful thing is the steering and handling of the 7th generation. It's night and day compared to the current model. The current model balances things like noise and vibration, steering precision, and other factors. For the S650, we really wanted to eliminate any compromises from a steering perspective. Frankly, there shouldn't be any compromises in my humble opinion in the first place, but good on you, Ford, for further improving steering performance." He continues, "Starting with the steering wheel, your touch point for the steering system. Obviously a flat bottom steering wheel, but also a bigger circumference rim. Actually, it's the biggest that we've done, even compared to Shelby products. Talking about the section and not the wheel itself. And we increase that as we go up the performance pyramid. In this case, we just went to the base car with the biggest section of a steering wheel we've done, and it's just about how it fits in your hands and maximizes grip and comfort. Of course, the steering wheel wasn't the only aspect of the S650 Ford Mustang steering that was modified when it came to delivering improved sensations and control to the driver." Krenz explained, "Then you walk down the steering column, and the current model has a joint in there that's there for vibration. We removed that from the S650 product. Then we increased the steering gear ratio as well as upgraded the overall steering rack capacity. So it makes a much quicker, nimbler feeling car to drive," he said. Now, some people want the pony car to be more of a muscle car and less of a sports car, but I do welcome this improvement, boys and girls. I want muscle and performance, and I for one am glad Ford has been making the Mustang a finer thoroughbred with each iteration." On that note, the article continues, "Going along with the steering improvements, the S650 Mustang handling has also received significant upgrades over the current model. The chassis on the car is also stiffer and features a reworked suspension system as well. The Pirelli P0 tires on the new Mustang GT are consistent with the outgoing model, however, and Rated R Cars is okay with that because the S550 GT tires are top-notch. I love the grip on my PP1 summer tires." Ed continues, "In terms of suspension, the MagnaRide dampers now have the next generation control system that we've evolved with some learnings from the Raptor programs. The base car has a new supplier of monotube shocks. The braking system, we migrated to electronic brake boost so you can tune the brake pedal response, and there was a lot of effort into getting what a standard Ford electronic brake pedal feel might be on something like an Explorer and bringing that into what we think a performance car or sports car needs to feel like. Guys, when you improve your MagnaRide with Raptor technology, yes, a truck that literally flies in the air and lands in one piece, that can only be a good thing. I had MagnaRide on my 2018 GT PP1 and on my GT350, and candidly, while I did feel a difference, I never felt a massive difference with it across the different modes. So I'm looking forward to the next generation." Krenz continues, "We also went to an electronic park brake from mechanical park brake for this product, again by wire. That enabled us to do a couple of cool things, including the ultimate evolution of the drift brake, which is sort of next level unexpected." Krenz is of course referring to the mischievous new handbrake on the 2024 Ford Mustang GT, which was developed with the help of Formula D veteran Vaughn Skitton Jr., aka my hero. Okay, look, the Mustang is getting more and more modern, and it's doing a lot of things for us that we used to do by ourselves, such as launch control, line lock burnouts, shifting force with the 10R80, now rev matching, and now a drift brake. Now I'm an old school man who likes to do my own shifting, rev matching, launching, and driving in general, but guess what? You can turn off all these features if you don't want to use them, and kudos to you, Ford, for including a manual option for us old school folk. Humbly, I've never drifted a car before, and I'm excited to do it for the first time and document it for the Rated R Cars fam with this newfangled drift brake. Maybe this will be a good training experience so I can learn to do it the old-fashioned way someday, so I don't turn into this guy. Where the Mustang stops being a Mustang is in electrification. I don't want a hybrid Mustang, and per Ford, we're thankfully not getting one. I don't want a full EV Mustang either. I may change in the future, but at least not right now. We have a Mach-E at Rated R Cars, and it's cool. I love the quiet, effortless performance off the line, but it's not a Mustang and never will be. And that's okay. It does a great job at what it is. A cool, high-performing electric SUV that I can drive 200 miles round trip and then come home and plug it back in. You want the inevitable EV Mustang? Fine, but Ford, please call it something else. I'm sure it's going to be an awesome car because Ford hasn't disappointed me yet, but please make that its own thing. Common sense says the way the world is headed to biblical ruin, the S650 is our last great Mustang of all time. So let's embrace it and love it while we have it. Like it or not, that's coming. The question is, are you right with God? Maybe time to reach out to Jesus Christ if you're not. And if this several seconds of scripture makes you angry, ask yourself why you would be angry over such a small fraction of this video. Alright boys, in other news, environmentalist idiots were being environmentalist idiots according to this article from thesun.com. Eco-zealots who glued themselves to the floor of a Volkswagen dealership moaned they couldn't use the toilet or get food after staff turned out the lights and went home. Unimpressed employees at the showroom in Germany locked the doors, switched off the lights, and dialed down the heating at the end of the working day, which I find to be hilarious. But the group of 9 activists from the Scientist Rebel group complained they were left in the dark during the demonstration. LOL. They had stormed the showroom in Wolfsburg in protest of Volkswagen, the second largest car producer in the world. The eco-idiots then glued their hands to the ground on the Porsche pavilion floor in the company's Autostat building on Wednesday. But they were left disgruntled when the staff refused to offer them a container to relieve themselves in, while at the same time letting the temperature drop. And despite some of the protesters being on hunger strike, others were feverishly unhappy with the lack of food choices. Scientist Rebel frontman Gianluca Grimalda explained the conditions the group wearing white lab coats were facing in a Twitter thread. He wrote, "At Volkswagen told us that they supported our right to protest, but they refused our request to provide us with a bowl to urinate and defecate in, classy, in a decent manner while we were glued and have turned off the heating. We can't order our food. We must use the one provided by Volkswagen. Lights off," he said. He also said random unannounced checks by security guards with bright torches. Oh, you poor babies who glued yourselves to their private property. I'm sorry security guards shined flashlights on you. The activists staged the bold sit-in in the hopes of encouraging the government and big firms to decarbonize the German transport sector, blah blah blah. Protester Gianluca later told his social media followers he was forced to leave the protest due to a medical issue with his hand, which he had glued to the floor. I love a happy ending to a story. If you do too, keep it locked into Rated R Cars. Never glue yourselves to anything, and always remember the motto, always be kinder than necessary, and I will see you in the next one.